Uepa.
Number 9. Alaskan Malamute. The Alaskan Malamute was initially bred for its strength and endurance. These traits see them used as sled dogs, very similar to other Arctic dogs such as the Canadian Eskimo, the Siberian Husky, and the Samoyed. The Malamute is a very affectionate, loyal dog, easily recognized by its fluffy tail, pointy ears, and its hefty frame. As friendly and protective as they are, these dogs can be rather difficult to train, and need to be challenged and exercised regularly to ensure they grow and develop into a solid guardian. If left to their own devices, they become bored, causing them to become rather rambunctious. They express this by howling and chewing everything in their path. Some of the more notable cases include chewing through drywall, sofas, and even converting their owners' yards into craters. Malamutes can be very aggressive, often preying on smaller animals or pets. When the breed gets into a scuffle, it can end very badly for the other party. In some cases, it can even be fatal. Under no circumstances should a Malamute be left with another animal, unless they have spent significant supervised time together previously and no problems have arisen. Number 8. Chow Chow. The ancient Chinese breed Chow Chow is quite intriguing. Both powerful and compact, they are full of surprises. With a lion-like mane, a blue-black tongue, and almond-shaped eyes, the Chow Chow comes in a range of colors and coat textures, from very smooth to rough. Owners find them very easy to domesticate as they are very calm, particularly around other animals. They are also loyal to their owners, making them highly aware of strangers and other dogs. They adapt quickly to new surroundings and don't require a strenuous training regime. Currently one of the most ancient animals still in existence, the Chow Chow has a pretty ruthless bite. Bad news for anyone or anything that dares oppose it. In fact, the aggressive side of its temperament is said to be very difficult to manage. Bred for the purpose of hunting, the Chow Chow has been compared to a cat. It might look all sweet and innocent, but don't be fooled. They've got a mean streak. Number 7. Perro de Presa Canario. A rare breed, the Perro de Presa Canario, or Canary Mastiff, was bred specifically for working livestock. If you're looking for some help down on the farm, however, these canines do require some serious work. They have a rough history of being involved in dogfights and countless brutal attacks, with 2 blamed for the death of lacrosse player Diane Whipple and her coach in 2001. In a more recent case, a woman in County Galway, Ireland, was attacked and killed by 3 mastiffs owned by her son. Bred from the Canary Islands, the Canary Mastiff is difficult to train and has been banned in both Australia and New Zealand, with authorities there concerned about their naturally aggressive attributes. Number 6. Shar-Pei. The Shar-Pei, or Chinese wrinkle dog, originated from China. However, like several others, there's still some debate over how exactly it came to be. Many believe it has ties to the Chow Chow as they both have purple tongues and similar tails. However, that's all speculation and nothing concrete. Illustrations of the Shar-Pei have featured on pottery for several centuries. Therefore, the Shar-Pei is considered an ancient breed. Their skin has extra folds, which are said to have been useful in dog fights, making the dog difficult for its adversary to grip onto. Nowadays, the folds are simply part of the dog's charm, making them in hot demand. The Shar-Pei is incredibly loyal and a tremendous watchdog, but also very territorial, meaning they need to be fenced off if possible. They are mainly gentle and affectionate dogs, but sudden changes in their environment can cause problems. Therefore, they aren't suited to kennels or staying away from their owners for long periods. If that isn't bad enough, they also have their fair share of health issues, often suffering from skin conditions, ear infections, and in some cases, have a few eye problems. Number 5. Great Dane. This pup is massive, standing at an impressive 32 inches at the shoulder. When standing on its hind legs, the Great Dane is often taller than the average human being. Although intimidating, in most cases, if trained well, these dogs are some of the friendliest and most patient around. Great Danes are rather refined, sleek, and elegant beasts. Their bodies are massively muscular and athletic, arguably putting most Olympic athletes to shame. Its size is very intimidating for most people, which is understandable, as it's not often you'll lock eyes with a dog that weighs and measures almost as much as yourself. As sweet as these dogs are, and as good as their track records are as guard dogs, they need to be nurtured properly to grow to respect the people around them and learn what is right and wrong. They may seem soft and friendly, but it mustn't be forgotten that these dogs can be trained to hunt and kill the likes of wild boars. There was one pretty horrific case that befell a 15-month-old toddler in Texas when her ear was partially bitten off by a Great Dane owned by the child's grandmother. The poor tot had to undergo reconstructive surgery on her right ear. However, it turned out that the dog had been abused by its previous owners and had only recently switched homes. He only lived with this woman for 2 months prior to this incident, and arguably hadn't been trained correctly by the previous owners. Unfortunately, he was put in quarantine for 10 months at the local shelter before inevitably being put down. Number 4. Belgian Malinois. A canine often mistaken for a smaller German Shepherd, the Belgian Malinois is mainly utilized as a herding dog due to its high intellect and stamina. This has led to them having a tremendously good reputation as guard dogs and police dogs. Unfortunately, these dogs also have a history of aggression, especially around children and other animals. They have a bite force of 195 psi, which means they are not to be reckoned with. The dog itself does have very similar attributes to the German Shepherd, but there are a few significant differences in their body structure and temperament. They are, of course, much smaller and as a result have smaller bones. They also stand with considerable weight on their toes, which gives them a square body profile, something the German Shepherd can't quite achieve. They can be fawn-colored, red, or brown, and their tips are usually a jet black. Their heads are well refined and more chiseled in comparison to the German Shepherd, and they also have smaller and more triangular ears. Even with their track record, these dogs do tend to struggle a little with harsher training methods and can be quite sensitive. Some are really friendly and assertive, whilst others can be rather reserved and aloof around new people. Realistically, they should only go to homes of people that are experienced with guard dogs so that they can get the proper care and training they need. They just won't cut it with people that aren't around often or work long hours. Number 3. Cane Corso. Another large member of the canine family is the Cane Corso, a breed that can grow almost 28 inches and weigh well over 100 pounds. These dogs are experts in being guardians of the land. Along with a considerably large-scale head, these pups are very alert and have muscles that ripple beneath a short and stiff coat. They look rather menacing and can be quite intimidating when considering their size, which many would argue is their first line of defense in the event of an intruder. The dog has been described as having an understated air of cool competence, the kind of demeanor you'd expect from a professional bodyguard. Cane Corso are gifted intellectually. They are very eager animals that are incredibly loyal and versatile. However, without the proper training, they can be very aggressive and deadly. Most of the time, the breed is considered stable and reliable, but they can be standoffish around new people. Number 2. Wolf Dog. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that wolf-dog hybrids are very aggressive creatures. They are exactly what the name describes, a wolf and dog combination. Wolves and dogs are interfertile. This means they are able to mate and in turn produce offspring. Dogs have plenty of years worth of domestication behind them, while wolves have very little. When wolves reach a certain level of maturity, their behavior is impacted. This tends to result in them asserting themselves individually within their packs. Packs are no laughing matter either. They are incredibly competitive business, and wolves often fight to achieve higher positions in these packs. Wolves will challenge the pack leader to achieve a higher position in the pack, whereas in a domestic situation, the owner is the pack leader. This may result in some unsettling behavioral adjustments whilst transitioning. Territory is a big thing for the wolf hybrid, as they use urination as a way to mark this. It's very possible the individuals they aren't familiar with will induce a strong response from the hybrid. However, this hybrid is very inconsistent in terms of offspring, meaning that it is one of, if not the most unpredictable dog breed in existence. With differing traits, you could see a very laid-back hybrid or an incredibly aggressive and untrustworthy war dog. Many believe that the hybrids just aren't suitable pets, and years of unfortunate incidents and abuse certainly backs up those beliefs. They are genuinely difficult to train due to their unpredictability and stubbornness. The only real way to properly train a wolf hybrid would be to own a large portion of land so that it has acres of room to let out all of its boisterous tendencies. Wolves and dogs simply shouldn't be crossbred. It's an unfair mix. The dog is an animal that is a companion and can easily transition into domestication, while wolves are built for the wild and are very aggressive. It's just a ridiculous combo. Number 1. Akita Inu. Akitas are usually rather large, with big, strong bones and elite class burliness. They have an imposing appearance and a rather quiet nature to them. They are always affectionate towards their owners and family, but as with many others on this list, are very protective. These dogs do not play well with other animals, and without the proper precautions, may not socialize well with humans either. Initially used for royal guarding in feudal Japan, the Akita Inu has evolved through time, even being used to hunt wild boars and black bears. It is a fearless breed that doesn't back down from a challenge, which reflects what they are capable of when in defense of their families. They can be rather dangerous and territorial around strangers, but with proper care and a decent upbringing, they can also reflect many positive characteristics. They do tend to shed and drool quite frequently when they are settled into a home, so owners shouldn't be expecting it to be a clean and easy task when taking on this lovable canine. Either way, these pups are loyal to the very end and are perfectly suitable for an owner who has experience with larger guard dogs, although it's best to keep them on their lonesome since their track record with other animals isn't so great. When it comes to dogs, the choice is yours. Big, small, boisterous, quiet, clever, or maybe a little ditzy, it's your decision as to what best fits into your family dynamic. But be warned, it pays to be careful when choosing your new canine friend. You don't want to be putting yourself or your loved ones in any danger, do you? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time!